What's good, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to put corrupted modifiers onto any weapon, bow, or shield using food. Basically, what this glitch does is it applies the food's cook memory to the item of your choice. Now this can be used to put modifiers on the champion weapons and even the bow of light. So let's get into it. Start out by manually saving your game and then eating all your food and selling every piece of armor. We're going to be generating offset slots now. The amount of offset slots you want to generate though is very specific for this glitch. You want to have 60 plus your amount of key items. So I have 31 key items plus 60, I have to make 91 slots. You won't have anywhere near as many key items as I do though. After this, we're going to hold smuggle by desyncing our inventory. You do this by holding out a multi-shot bow with shock arrows in the game world, entering your inventory, dropping it, equipping a new one, and then exiting. Repeat these steps until Link disappears in the menu, and then hold 4 items. We're going to be very careful not to generate offset using these materials though, because these are the materials we're going to be cooking with, and the food that we make with them is going to be applied to the gear. After you've held the items, exit the menu, remove your bow, and sell the 4 items that you held. Sell all of them. After you've done this, exit the text boxes and drop an item. After you've dropped the item, you've created 4 slots. Equip your bow again and repeat these steps until you have the exact number of offset slots you calculated earlier. After you have the correct amount of slots, in this case I needed to make 91, we're going to add up a second number. This time, this number is going to consist of how much unsellable armor we have, the arrow types that we have, 3 of each type of equipment, and then 3 extra swords. In my case, I need 26, but this might be different for you. After you calculate this number, sell your materials so you have as many types as the number you just calculated. After this, drop everything except the equipment that you want to corrupt, 3 of each kind, 2 extra swords, and we can't do anything with the master sword, so ignore that. Now that we've done all that setup, we're ready to move on to the actual corruption part of this glitch. Make sure that your inventory is all in order, that you have the right amount of equipment, and the correct amount of materials. Once you've done this, exit the shop and head on over to the cooking pot. Once you get here, drop your 2 weapons. This will put you in a negative M count state. In this state, items we pick up will spawn after the key items tab, in a tab of their own. This is what we're going to be using to corrupt the gear. Here's how you do it. You want to do this in the order of weapons, bows, and then shields, because that's the order they appear at in the inventory. Drop a sword, pick it up, and then enter your inventory. You'll notice it's in a tab of its own. From here, exit the menu, and then cook the food of your choice. What you cook affects what modifiers get applied to the weapon. In this video, I used the recipe palm fruit, fairy, and then 3 different kinds of dragon horns, and that's how you get damage up. I'll leave a Google Doc below that shows a bunch of other recipes and what they do that people in the community have been working on. If you go back into your inventory, you'll notice the food appears after the weapon. Now repeat this for the next 2 weapons. Next, we're going to do this with bows. You can either use the same method as before, where you drop it, pick it up, and then cook, but if you're trying to put a modifier on the bow of light, you have to first put it on a bow mount, put a bow over it, and then cook food, because the only way to get the bow of light in one of these glitched slots is by putting it on a mount. For my bows, I used apple, fairy, and 3 dragon horns, and this gives you damage up in multi-shot. After you've done your bows, move on to the shields and use the same method as before, and then go into your inventory and make sure everything looks good. Oh, and I used 4 gourmet meat and 1 fairy for max guard up on my shields. You'll know everything is right if you can scroll past your key items, see a weapon, food, and so on. After doing all of that setup, pick up your 2 extra swords and run over to the shrine to get an autosave. Quickly run back to the pot and then cook 60 meals without getting another autosave, because we don't want the autosave we just got to be overridden. After we're done fully filling our cooked meals tab, load the autosave. You should load in and see your weapons have been corrupted. Now we just gotta make it so we can actually keep them. So let's move on to that next. After loading your autosave, run over to Link's house and place all your new corrupted gear onto the mounts. Drop the gear that you might have replaced, and eat all your food. Now run back over to the shrine, get an autosave, and close the game. Open the game back up and load the autosave, and we'll have an inventory with nothing, but that's okay. This is just a file we're going to be using to donate the corrupted weapons onto either our main save or another file. Run over to Link's house and grab the weapons off the mounts. Run behind Link's house and get 2 apples and a piece of wood from this tree. Head to the Hiteno shop, buy 2 of every material here, and then fast travel to the Korok forest. Once you get here, grab 2 silent princesses, being very careful not to start Trial of the Sword. Enter the shop and buy 2 of every material once again. The reason we got all of those materials is because we need to set up errorless offset, and we need to offset 15 slots. 5 because of the 5 key items, and then another 11 for the 9 pieces of equipment we kept, plus the Master Sword. To do errorless offset, have your weapon drawn with a shield equipped and stand in front of a bomb. Press B to put away your weapon, but before the animation finishes, remove your shield and pick up the bomb. This is a hold smuggle. We can put items on our arm using this. Re-equip your shield, enter your inventory and select the 1 piece of wood, and then 4 other materials. Remember which materials these are. Lock your camera and swap weapons. Jump, unlock your camera and mash D-pad left, and then when Link starts to put away his shield, remove your shield. This will put the items on Link's arm. Walk up to the shopkeeper, and you're going to want to lock your camera, whistle, and hit A all in the same frame. If you've done this right, when you go to sell your items, the item you only had 1 of will be marked as 0. That's how you know you've done this right. If you don't see this, exit and try again. From here, sell the 4 items and exit the text box. Your items should just jump out. Repeat this process until you have 15 slots, making sure not to go over, and then drop all your materials. Make sure to have everything unequipped, and now we can decide what save file we want to put these weapons on. Load the file that you want to put the weapons on, and you should load in and see you have your corrupted weapons. Now just get an autosave, close the game, and reopen it, and if you like what you see, you're free to manual save. So that is how you corrupt weapons and gear in Breath of the Wild. I know I glossed over a few things like setting up offset, but it's important to know how many materials you hold smuggle is how many offset slots you're setting up, so as long as you know that, you shouldn't be going either below or over top the amount that you need to create. And the amount of offset that you need to create in this video is pretty specific, so don't create any more or any less. Again, the paste bin is going to be in the description below if you want to look at different recipes and their effects. And it is important to mention that it's easier to do this glitch without the Bow of Light because this glitch will duplicate it. So that's just something to look out for. Anyway, I hope this tutorial helped you apply some corruption to your gear, and I hope this helped you create some really overpowered weapons. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Peace.